Welcome back to another episode here at Rustmobile Garage, where we are going to address three major issues. Okay? Three. We're going to do three major issues on this video. So let's cut right to the chase and let's get at it. I just feel like I'm off. Does this sound stupid?
No.
Zach says I don't sound stupid, but I guess we're going to keep on rolling with this intro, okay? So three big issues that we're going to deal with, okay? Issue number one, okay, is not really an issue. It's actually an awesomeness, okay? I want to tell you all thank you for liking and subscribing and giving this to 1,000 people. 1,000 people. I mean, who would have thought 1,000 people? It's exciting, okay? It was the next milestone for us from 500. We hit 1,000. I don't know, that's cool. I guess there's 1,000 people that want to subscribe to us. That's awesome. So thank you. If you haven't done it, please subscribe and just keep commenting and liking. We're going to keep doing, I don't even know what to call this content because most of it probably don't make much sense, but we just like to build a bunch of crap. Okay? How's that? Can I say that, Zach? Perfect. Okay, so we made it through issue one. Issue number two, this thing right here does not stop on a dime and give you back 5 cents. Okay? Basically, this thing stops on a football field and I don't even know. I don't have a good analogy for this. Sorry. It don't stop. Okay? Like, good thing she's a manual, you can downshift it. But we're going to swap out the Masters, okay? We got 1-inch bore. We're going all the way back to a 3/4 inch bore. I hope I didn't go too small, okay? But we'll know that, okay? But we're gonna explain to you in this video the whole deal with that whole bore size thing, okay? Issue number three, okay? This thing is incredibly loud. Now I like it loud. Zach likes it loud, but it is so loud, okay? It is. When you are getting on it on the street, it is so incredibly loud blasting out the side of this car that I feel we may end up having some issues when we're driving it around, okay? Now this car, I mean, as pristine as it is, it would, never draw any other attention to itself. So I felt the need that we're gonna have to put a muffler on, of sorts, okay? So we're gonna have to quiet this car down. There's no way around it. I mean, when we were ripping it around, my wife's like, I thought the car was in the room with me when we were driving by. It was so loud, okay? So we're gonna address that issue, and we have some options there. So, I mean, that's gonna get a little bit, yeah, that's how it's gonna get. But I guess what I need to do is stop flapping the old flappers. We're gonna have
4 issues.
There's 4 issues? What's the 4th one, Zach?
You know what it is?
What?
Which, honestly, I didn't realize that subscribers was going to be an issue.
What?
The old boingy backwards on accelerations. It needs shocks.
Oh, yeah. I keep trying to forget about the whole shock thing. It does need shocks. I don't think I'm going to get the shocks in this video. There's a good chance I'm not, because I have my hands full with exhaust and brakes. But we'll see. We may get the shocks. If not, shocks may be in the next video. But we still got door cards too. So we might be like shocks and door card day. I don't know. Okay, but yeah, we have a few issues to work out. Good thing we still got days. But now we're really getting into this intro here, and it's like 5 minutes in, and now you're getting ready to play the intro. Okay, Zach, keep distracting me. You ready to play the intro? When we come out of the intro, we're going to do a cold start on this thing. I'm going to drive it outside. You are going to understand. Although the phone cuts it because it is so incredibly loud. We don't even have a microphone that'll play it. It just kind of goes into protection mode. But anyways, I think as we quiet it down, it might help. So we're going to drive it out because it's really crooked on the lift. And then I guess we're going to start with brakes and then move on to cutting the exhaust up. And I guess we can probably do the exhaust test inside because it should start quieting it down. that on its own.
No, I know. I can tell.
Okay, so if you guys can't tell, it's a little loud and it really don't like running when it's cold. Not exactly sure what's going on there. I feel it's a tuner. Tuner is probably messing something really old. Because it's cold this morning. So, as you can tell, barely, it's a little loud. So at this point, we're going to put it back in the shop and we're going to get it cut. Although I might do brakes first because there's still no brakes. So, the big question is, I have a Band-Aid on my finger. No, actually, I ain't the big question. The big question is if one muffler is good, okay, is 4 better? See? 4 mufflers. Told you we were going to quiet this thing down. But I don't have much room for mufflers in here. So, you know what I'm saying? So what we're going to do is we're going to cut it. And we're going to put 1 on each side, okay? And we're going to hear it. Then, we're going to cut it again, and we're going to put another 1 on each side. And then we'll make a determination of what our plan is. That's what I'm thinking about doing. I don't know if it's a good plan or not, but it's a plan, okay? And then, we're going to change out these bad boys, okay? So, these are the Wilward 3/4 inch, breaker ups because we have dual. And those are the 1-inch ones right there. Which are going to kind of suck now, but, just... If I would just use the calculator, when I started this, instead of the Ricky calculator, this would have probably been better. But what happened was, I just basically knew in my head what I about needed. But my problem was, in my head, I was thinking I was backing off from a powered brake to a manual. And then I didn't have my right length and know what my geometry of my brake pedal was going to be. So I didn't know how much force I could put on it. And come to find out, when all that magical stuff actually is put into a real calculator, you find out that I can only put about 500-600 pounds when I'm giving her all I got. Okay, 500-600 pounds of pressure ain't gonna stop this big old beast. It's not gonna do it. I need to get up around 1,000 to 1,200 pounds, on a hard brake. But at least need to be able to just soft brake it in at like 700-800. Like I want to just slow her up a little bit because I see an ice cream stand or something. So, with that being said, okay, Zach on the back side, because this is what Zach does, his keyboard fingers. So the last, few months, or I don't even know, he's been probably working on this thing maybe even a year or so.
Yeah, about a year.
Off and on. He's been adding stuff to it, okay? Well, he built this page, and I know there's other places that you can get this stuff too. I'm not saying ours is the best. What I'm saying is Zach has made a page, okay? There will be a link down below somewhere, okay? I'll even put it on the website, okay? The link. This link will bring you to part of our website somewhere. I don't know where, but I don't know how that works, okay? But anyways, he has some really cool calculators on there. He has like a transmission calculator, so you can put in your tires and your transmission and all that, and it spits out, how fast you can go with RPMs and gears, and it's cool, okay? And then he recently told me that he added in brake stuff. So you can do like braking force to magicals with your feet. And come to find out, we really need to be around this size, maybe just a tick bigger. But the problem is I can put more braking force on than Zach can, okay? Because I'm like 10 pounds heavier than he is. And so in order for him to be able to stop this big old pile of iron, he don't have the braking force I do. So I thought we had to step down a little bit smaller. So when he brakes, he can actually stop the car. I don't know if any of this stuff makes sense to you guys. I don't know if any of you mess with this stuff. You know, if you do, just input it in there. But check out our website, our thing down. You'll find like the transmission thing is awesome. I know how to work that one. And then the other stuff's cool too. He has all kinds of stuff, and we're adding to it, and it gets better and better. And he just keeps. It's basically a one-stop shop. Stop in, and you can calculate a bunch of stuff. There.
Yeah, if you have a calculator that's not on there, there'll be a link so you can submit it.
You're doing a fuel one too at some point, right?
Yeah, I'm gonna work on a fuel mileage calculator
A fuel mileage calculator thing where you can put some stuff in. So if you have some ideas for this calculator stuff, that's what Zach does. He likes building all that stuff in the backside. So we'd be happy to maybe add a calculator in on that side, and then you can, you know, again, it puts them all together. The stuff that we all use, you know, if we're building cars, we want to know different things. Instead of having to go to 3 sites trying to find them, we're just compiling them into one. But anyways, I need to get these mufflers. Okay, we've been chatting for way too long, and I feel that it's time to open up these mufflers. What's in here? Ooh, stickers. It's a good sticker right there, Zach. Mm-hmm. So here's the muffler. It ain't really a muffler, but I'm hoping it's a helper. So it is stainless, of the stainless variety, and you can basically, you know, see through it like that. But it has some stuff in here, and then it's got holes in there, and it does something with the shock waves of.
Stop moving it.
Sorry.
I was trying to show them. Yeah,
Okay,
there.
like
Now
that.
I can see it.
It does something magical in there. So it's not like a regular glass pack where they're like directional with like the fins teeth hanging out, where you put them one way and it drives the sound in there and makes them cackle, or you put them the other way and they basically don't do nothing. I don't know, but I'm thinking, see, I can put one right here, okay, then I can put the other one right here, like that. That's what I was thinking when I did my thoughts. So that's kind of where I'm at. What I'm going to do is get a marker. I'm going to mark this. I'm going to chop it off here. And probably chop it off in here somewhere. And I guess we're going to put it in on each side and see what it sounds like. See if it knocks some of that really loudness off that my wife's complaining about. Now they do say on them, they're straight through performance, deep, mellow tone. Well, I don't say they're the king of sound, which is what we put on my truck. You say deep, mellow tone. So if you put on 2 of them on each side, is that a deeper, mellower tone? Or is it the deepest, mellowing-ish tone? I don't know. I'm just talking now. Okay, I'm going to do some cutting. Let's see what one Flow FX sounds like. Well, technically 2. There's one on each side. Let's see if this helps. Let me turn that off. Why did I turn that off? Significantly help.
It is way deeper.
It's deeper. Okay? Well, the only thing to do is add another one, right? She's got all the mufflers. All of them. There's no more room for mufflers. That's it. That's all we can put in it. So if it's still loud now, I can't help it. I did the best I could. Now, we do got to weld it all. And obviously get the heat shields back on it. We're not going to paint those. They're stainless. They're not going to rust. Unlike the pipe under it. And I guess we'll see what it sounds like now. Sounds better. Because now it's just deep, deep, deep on idle.
Yeah, it's really deep.
It's really deep on idle. I can't wait to hear it outside once we fix the brakes and get everything welded up, because it has leaks, obviously. We'll have to bring it outside and see, but it is a lot deeper, but it still has some rasp to it when you get after it a little bit.
Yeah, when you get on these straight through mufflers like this, when you really on them, they pretty much act as nothing. Don't hit your head on the roof. I've done that basically every time I've gotten out of this car.
Well, it ain't bad when you're on the ground. You gotta jump down the hall way down there. It's a long ways. Okay. Well, two things now. Actually, I don't know. I just felt like saying two things now. Exhaust is on. Let me shut the door here. See? Can't even really tell they're in there, but one right here and one right here. And let's just say it made a world of difference. It still gets up there. When you want it to bark, she'll still bark, but for driving, say maybe we took it out for another little test drive. Maybe. And, oh, watch this, I fixed the door too. This is my other thing, okay? This door is not open like that since we got the car. Generally, you gotta pull it real hard. Look, I mean, I'm not even... 1958 in the freaking weeds for 30 years and the door opens and closes. I'm just saying, you take a car nowadays in 30 years, put it in the woods, after the thing's whatever old it is, a lot of years, the door ain't gonna open like that.
They don't open like that from the factory.
I mean, just, it's crazy. Hey guys, we were just editing the video and realized I didn't even show you the Brake Master install or whatever, and there's not really much to show you. It's pretty simple. It's like 5 bolts, but actually it's 6 bolts, but they're back there, the 2 masters. So it's just 2 masters. It's all. You can't tell any difference between those and the ones we took out. What matters is the plunger inside. But Zach wanted me to go over his calculator thingy for the mathematicians and stuff, which I'm probably not the one to go over that. But anyways, I'm going to show you. So if you're still here in the video at the very end, thank you for watching all the way through. And if you're not, well, I guess you missed out on this. Zach, you recording me now? Mm-hmm. Okay, I'm standing behind you because we both can't be in here. But you got to take a couple measurements. We need to know from the pedal, okay, up to there, to where the fulcrum is, or the pivot point of the clutch. So we need to know the length of that anyway, okay? And then we also need to know, what else we need to know, Zach?
From the pivot to the pusher rod.
So from the pivot.
So not down here.
Not down here.
Up there.
Up here. So from the pivot up here, where are you? Where are you, Zach? I see you. So from way up here to the pivot of where it goes in. We need those 2 measurements, okay? So we're gonna get those 2 measurements and we're gonna go to Zach's calculator, and I guess we'll explain to you what we're gonna do there, okay? Okay, so now, if you go to rustedupgarage.com, okay? Here's our website. There ain't much on here yet, you know. We do have a few shirts to buy, but not crazy yet. But we're going to be having some more shirts added. We're going to have the 58 shirts pretty soon and some hats. So, all we have is the 55 ones, and there ain't many of those left. So really, just hold on. We'll be announcing we get some merch, okay? It's coming. And then obviously you can get your AMSOIL here, and you can go to our YouTube from here, but you can also go to our calculators. So you hit the calculators, it's open up to this page here. Now, there's engine calculators. We don't need to go through all of them right now, but there's engine calculators, there's transmission calculators, there's vehicle calculators, there's tuning calculators. And if you click on one, it'll bring up more calculators because that's what they're in, subgroups of multi-groups of the other groups that you go through the groups, okay? So now that we're into that tool, we're going to go ahead and hit the brake calculator. Yep, look at that. Now, we don't know what the measurements are because we didn't actually measure them. But you would put your pivot of center to foot pad in. So let's say ours is 6.5 inches, okay? And then we're going to put our pivot to the push rod. Let's say that is 1.5 inches, okay? And that tells us our ratio is 4.3 to 1, okay? Now, we need that number to put into the braking calculator, PSI calculator, but we're going to put the input force of what it's going to take. And we don't really know that number, but we're going to put 90, okay? And then our ratio we get from above, which is 4.33. And then master bore size, let's just put 7.5. And that says our line, that's what our line pressure is going to be, 882 PSI. Now, that's really not that good, okay? Because that's close to what we had. Like I had all I could do to push on it. Now your input force does have to do more with how much brake pressure you can push on the pedal.
That's in that's in pounds too.
Yeah, pounds. I
I'll
don't know how you really get that number. I don't know, really. It's got to be something.
Yeah, there's probably a calculator for that, but
Yeah,
I don't have that.
But anyway, you can do some maths here. So you can do ideal. So like if you know your input force and you know your ratio, and it'll tell you what your line pressure is going to be. But this calculator works out pretty good. The biggest thing I guess was got to figure out that input force. What's that? It's all about. I'm not sure how you get that.
That's how much pressure. That's how hard you can push on the brake pedal.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember how you can get that number.
Other than take the bathroom scale and push on it.
Yeah, I don't know.
I did it off brake pressure to calculate how much force we were able to put in because we knew the pedal ratio, which I think is 6.5 on the car, and we had a 1-inch bore, and we were only getting like 600 psi.
So yeah, 72 pounds. Okay. So I guess that's a good reverse way of doing it, is if you know your pedal ratio, which you get from the top, and you know what your master bore size is, and you know what your line pressure is, so you have a gauge on your brake pressure gauge on your brake line, you could technically know what your input force would be. So you could reverse engineer that with a line pressure gauge. And then the other thing too is really the line pressure gauge does help, because when you're pushing on the pedal, you really want to be upwards of 1,000 to get to 1,200. When you're just wailing on it, it's probably a good number. But if you're wailing on it and can only get up about 600, she ain't gonna stop. That's what I'm trying to say. So yeah, so pedal ratio more. That's pretty much the math to it. And there's some smarter people than us that know how to, figure this out. But this calculator does give you the numbers.
Yeah, this gives you the numbers. This isn't the science behind it. And the other thing too to note, this only works with manual brakes.
Oh yes, I didn't think about that. This only works with manual brakes. But there's a lot of cool calculators on this website, so really check it out and see what you think. And some input on this would be great as far as something you might want to see or what have you. But yeah, that's the calculator that Zach's been working on. All these calculators in here, trying to get them to do some stuff. But there's some cool stuff with like transmission stuff. The transmission calculator is really cool. That tells you your speed and all that. So go ahead and fumble around with it. Tell us what you guys think. So have a great week, and be looking out, because we're going to be whamming this week with some videos, because we got to wrap this car up, because Power Tour is coming in a week. a week. So be on the lookout for a couple more videos as we wrap this car up and get ready for our epic journey. Thank you all. Peace out.